your paper actually is the one who brought this to our attention. I believe there's multiple different state legislatures. One even trying to absolve someone of running people over, probably not something that you want to encourage. So what do you make of this in the broader context of arguments around civil liberties, post-January 6th, post-riots, all of that?
Well, I think that one of the interesting things with both this bill in Florida and the bill in Oklahoma that has to do with permitting people to run people over is that it gives the people who have written it cover to say, oh, we're just very concerned about rioting. I believe that some of the language legislators in Florida used is, we don't want to be another Portland or something like that, which whatever you think of the situation that's been taking place in Portland, a lot of people, that 4 blocks, you don't want that. But the challenge here is that this law, HB1, is incredibly vague. And it basically gives law enforcement officials the ability to say, this protest, I don't like it. So it's unlawful assembly. And that means that everyone who's arrested from the unlawful assembly that the law enforcement has just decided it was, gets arrested and held for an entire evening. And it grants police officers really broad discretion that perhaps they shouldn't get to have about who should be arrested and who should be charged with a third-degree felony, which would then result in them losing the right to vote and losing a host of other rights, and deciding who doesn't have to be arrested. I think that one of the challenges we're seeing here is that this bill is allowing law enforcement to pick and choose who is protesting in the right way and who is protesting in the wrong way. And we all like to think, DeSantis made this point, that what the right way to protest is taking a knee, well, depending on if you're the National Football League. But the wrong way to protest is breaking windows. But we've seen time and time again that protests that are visibly peaceful can be termed to be unlawful because it's protesting police violence.
Much talk in the last 20 years, obviously, about just transition. And I've publicly asked people to stop using that terminology because it doesn't exist, never has existed, and people in Appalachia just don't believe it anymore. So what we've done here is we've placed ourselves in this conversation. First of all, there are jobs being created in renewable energy. Those jobs do not pay middle-class wages, nor do they provide middle-class benefits like health care and pensions. So those jobs currently will not support a family. So the president has said, let's make those union jobs and jobs that support families. We wholeheartedly support that. One issue that organized labor has been raising for years and years and years is the amount of jobs, the number of jobs that's been created in places like China, for example, mainly China, because 2/3 of all solar panels and 2/3 of all wind turbines come from China. We're importing that as those technologies and those wind turbines and solar panels into this country as hard as we can go. And we're placing those solar panels and wind turbines all over the country. So people making low wages are manufacturing this technology. People making low wages are installing this technology. They're not union jobs here. We're proposing to bring those jobs offshore and bring them to the United States, make those well-paying jobs, and create an environment where people who've already lost their jobs throughout Appalachia have a place to seek employment and have a lifestyle as they used to have when they were working in the coal industry. We're members of the United Mine Workers, or in some instances, IBEW, oil makers, or railroad workers. So those jobs are not good-paying jobs now. They need to be made good-paying jobs.
Setting my watch, Irami, you got 8 minutes. Go.
So it's not obvious why media is important. People just think that they have access to what they need to know, right? Even about themselves. How could some expert tell me something about myself that I don't know? So why do I even need media, right? So there's this illusion that we have access to truth immediately. But then it's funny because I read an article a few years ago about skiers who break their fibula. Fibula is the bone right behind your shin bone. They break it all the time. They have no idea. They go through the whole ski season thinking, well, their muscles are sore. And then after the ski season ends, they're still in pain. So they go to the doctor. The doctor takes an x-ray. The doctor interprets the x-ray, and then the doctor tells him that, your fibula has been broken for 3 months, and now it's healed incorrectly. So this skier didn't even have immediate access to the truth about themselves. They needed it to be mediated through at least two institutions. The x-ray machine, which is one, but since I don't know how to read an x-ray, I need a doctor who's had the cultural understanding to actually interpret the x-ray machine in order for me to know the truth about myself. Right? And so what does this have to do with political truth? It's the same deal, right? We don't actually know the truth about ourselves, our social and political entanglements, without a media. And that's what the media does. It mediates. And it mediates in a way that enables the truth. Now, if the media is distorted, that means it gives everyone a distorted understanding of reality. If for some reason the x-ray machine is broken, or for some reason the doctor's a hack, either way, like what they will tell me about myself won't be the truth. It'll be a distortion calibrated to whatever kind of distortion that they've internalized, right? So we need media, whether the media is a microscope that tells me the truth about the cell, or in order to find out the truth about ourselves and about the truth about our entanglements. So this idea that we can just kind of go about our life without a responsible media is not serious about the project of self-government insofar as we're serious about the project of realizing truth and freedom in the United States. So we need the media to actually do its job. And also we need to know what the media is, so we need to know that it's not distorting us. And to know what something is also entails knowing its relationship to other institutions. I need to know that it turns out that major movies want to be sold in China, so they might actually tailor their scripts to the CPP censors.